and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from DeeZinesByD, and today I have the final Spellbinders installment for 2022. So I'm starting off with the Glimmer Kit of the month this time, and the clear stamp and die of the month. I'm going to be creating a tag and a card with kind of like the tag motif on it, and then I'm also going to be creating two more cards using the clear stamp and die of the month, which I'll shortly go over with you in the end of this video. So let's have a look at the products here. So for the Glimmer Kit of the month, you get this solid plate that's a heart, which is the center here. You've got a floral heart border along with a scallop border. All three of those can be glimmered, and then you've got coordinating dies, and then you've also got a nice curvy border and sentiments and small flowers and leafy things. And then you've also got the clear stamp and die of the month. The stamp is gorgeous, and then it's got some coordinating dies for the hearts and the letters. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. I've got this shimmer charcoal cardstock, which is actually by DeeZinesByD, but I know that Spellbinders has their own cardstock like this if you're looking to get that along with everything else. I'm using some of this this beautiful bright pink foil here to foil out the floral border, and you can see that the pink on that charcoal looks absolutely stunning. It's really going to stand out nicely. Now I actually cut my foil a little bit too small, and you can see here I just cut a bit off the end and then kind of overlapped it a bit at the bottom to cover the entire area. You can always do that because overlapping foil doesn't show when you actually put it through your foiling machine. You can see it just foils the area and you don't really see an overlap. So moving on with the foiling, we're going to use the scallop border here, and I'm going to foil that with some black shiny foil. So there's an opaque black foil along with the shiny one. So this one's the shiny one. I like that one. And then I've also got the coordinating die to cut that one out. So once I've got that nicely cut, I'll foil the last heart. So this is a solid plate, and I'm actually going to use the opal foil. So the opal is kind of clear, and it has an iridescent shine to it. You can see the rainbow shine as I'm cutting it. And it is important to note which is the top and bottom of this foil, otherwise you're not going to get the foiling done correctly. And it's pretty easy to figure out because it just follows the curve of your roll. So it's where it curls in, and that's the back, and the top is the shiny bit. So now that I've revealed that beautiful opal heart, I'll go ahead and use the coordinating die to cut this out. Now these are all smaller pieces, so I'm doing a lot of my cutting with my DeeZinesByD Sidekick here, which really comes in handy. My other die cutting machine is a Big Shot. It's just too big to show on camera. Now I've got this curvy sentiment here called Sending Hugs. It looks like you can not only foil it, but you can also emboss it. So I'm going to use it to foil. Now keep in mind that this has a flat back versus the other foiling plates, which are very, like the letters really stick out. So you want to make sure not to heat it too long when you're foiling. If you do get any overfoiling, not to worry. You can always use a Tombow Mono a sand eraser to erase any extra foil, or you could also use the Couture Creations Detailer tool, which I have, which really comes in handy for any type of overfoiling. Now I also went ahead and foiled the Happy Valentine's Day sentiment as well, and you can see I got a bit of overfoiling there as well. I'll go ahead and just clean that off just like I did with the last one, and I'll cut it out with the same banner die. Now for the floral heart, you can see I'm just fussy cutting this out because there isn't a coordinating die with this one, but it's not a big deal. So once I've got that cut out, I'm going to layer these hearts together. So I'm just using some thin foam in between each layer as I place it on the heart here. Now for the sentiment, I'm going to use the Sending Hugs sentiment here. You can see I've also cut out a second banner die in gold glitter cardstock and attached that. And now I'm adding a hole at the top to create a tag with this. And you can actually see that the flower at the very top in the center is perfect for creating a hole because the center of the flower is about the size of a hole punch. So this worked out quite nicely. Now I'm adding some nice sheer pink ribbon to the top, and then I'm using some striped twine to kind of just tie this off. And you can see the twine is nice because it's got like it's got an alternating white and pink design which matches perfectly with this heart. So once I've got that all tied off here and I've got my bow kind of where I want it, I can cut off the extra pieces of string for the tails, or I can kind of leave them hanging if you want. And that tag is completely done and looks pretty nice. So I've also got all of these extra little flowers and leafy bits that I've cut out of some charcoal metallic cardstock, some Sizzix Opulent rose gold pearl cardstock, and also some peach glitter cardstock. And I'm just going to use my shaping tool here, with my my stylus and my tool in one here, to kind of just shape the flowers and give them a nice round shape so that they have a 3D effect to them. And once I've gone ahead and shaped all the flowers and also the leaves just to give it a nice curve, I'll go ahead and place them all on top of the heart, that heart tag, to just create a bit more interest and just give it a lot more kind of more of a floral, pretty look that you would expect on a Valentine's tag. So this is a tag, but I follow the same type of rules or guidelines as for when I'm putting together a card. And the main thing is you have your main kind of design or style. So this is how the card is going to look in the background and the main focal point. So for example, I am going to make a card out of this tag and I'll have more of a background. So here I'm focusing more on the focal point, which is the heart. So I've put that together. I've got my sentiment there. And then you add details. And the details in this case are the little flowers and the leaves. I'll also be adding some gems and then that ribbon. And that all those extra little details are what make your card or your tag or your project in general stand out. And that formula of background, focal point, details is what I use for everything I create. Now, I actually haven't checked this out, but I'm assuming that the larger heart that's part of the clear stamp and die of the month could be used to kind of cut out that floral frame in the background there. And if you have that die, you can probably use that to create a small heart card and add all of these other elements on the front to create small little Valentines. Or you could just use this tag as it is and then maybe attach a little candy to that. I think those would make great little Valentines. Maybe you could use them for if you're having gatherings, little parties, or even for your kids for school. I think this set is so versatile and could work in various different ways, not just for a plain 8 by, A2 sized or A7 size card. Okay, so as I mentioned, I've gone ahead and added all of those little flowery bits, which you can see really enhances the look of this tag. And I'm adding some more little jewels to the center of the flowers and also to the center of the little flowers that were foiled. So I've also gone ahead and made a second one of these. I made it in the exact same manner. I just used different colors. So for the background, I used like a light pink and did black foil. Then I did some pink and rose gold foil. And then I did black and the opal foil again. Now I'm also going to go ahead and create my background. I'm using the embossing folder of the month, which is gorgeous. It's got this beautiful heart kind of like peace sign design. I don't know, it just looks really nice. Now for this one, I'm actually going to use the debossed side of the cardstock panel that I just embossed here. And that's the beauty of embossing, is you can go ahead and use one side with all the little lines sticking up, the embossed side, or you can use the opposite side for different looks. So I've created an A2 sized card here, and I basically cut that panel to be just a little bit smaller so I get a nice white border around the edge of my top folding white card base. I've added that, and I've added the tag, and I'm just adding some more of these cute little florals in the top left and bottom right, just to add a bit more interest to this card and kind of make that tag kind of be cohesive with the background. Now, if you wanted to, you could keep that tag kind of loose on the card so that it can maybe be detached and used for something else. It's really up to you and how you want your card to be used and presented. So I've gone ahead and added some more jewels to the background here and to the centers of those flowers. And this card is pretty much complete. Okay, so now let's move on to the clear stamp and die. So as I mentioned, you've got a few coordinating dies to go with the stamp set. I created 2 cards here. We'll start with the slimline. What I did was I stamped out the 3 hearts, so 2 times for that larger heart, and then I colored it all in. I cut it out using the coordinating heart dies, and then I took a blue panel of cardstock and cut it to the size of the slimline, which is about 8.5 by 4, and I embossed it with the embossing folder. I then took some gold pigment ink and I just kind of used my finger to brush it across the embossed edges of that cardstock panel, so it just kind of highlights the impressions. Then I went ahead and grabbed the little flowers and leaves from the Glimmer Kit, and I just cut them out of some gold glitter and gold metallic cardstock and added them to the 3 hearts. I added a few more jewels to this and attached it to my card base, and that was pretty much it for that card. Now for the second card, I used the LOVE. I stamped those out, and again, I colored them in. I stamped them with Memento ink because I did some Copic coloring there, and then I also cut them out with the coordinating dies. Now as I did that, I also cut out a second letter for each of the dies from some gold glitter cardstock, and I attached those to create a shadow and attached it to the background on panel with some foam squares. For the background panel, all I did was I used that larger the larger heart, and I stamped it a few times and heat embossed it with some Altenew rose gold embossing powder. Now the rose gold embossing powder is a little bit more of a muted rose gold, so it does look like an antique gold. I also stamped out the sentiment with some black VersaFine ink, and then I cut it out using that banner die from the mini everyday sentiment set there, because it was the perfect size. I attached that with some foam squares, and then I kind of decorated the background with some of these glitter drops from Pink Fresh Studio. So that's how I put these 2 cards together using the clear Stampin' Die of the month. And those are pretty much my cards and tag inspiration for the Glimmer Kit and the clear Stampin' Die in the month. I hope you guys have enjoyed my video today and have been inspired to make something similar yourself. If you have, please don't forget to tag me at DeeZinesByD wherever you're posting on social media. That will definitely alert me so I can kind of take a look at your crafty makes. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked my video. And furthermore, all of the products that I've used here and the kits and everything else that is supplemental to these cards is listed in my blog, which is linked in the description below. So don't forget to check that out. If you are shopping, I would appreciate if you were inspired by me that you use my affiliate links. Now keep in mind that that just gives me a tiny commission at no extra cost to you. I'm really happy to be able to bring you these videos, and I hope that you're enjoying them. If you have, please drop me a comment. I love to know that this is actually making a difference or helping somebody in some way or form. Have a great day, guys. I'll leave you with a couple other videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.